I'm live. Hi. Hello. So today we're going to talk about the fraud factor. My name's Rati Gorfine. My business is Creative Calling Coaching, and I am a career and life coach for creative entrepreneurs with focus challenges. You know, having 50 projects stuck in a drawer that you never finish. Feeling like you never are going to get around to finishing the first draft of that novel. Finding that you're always a little more behind at work than other people when you're a creative, say in the design department, and things, the changes are coming at you so fast that you just can't keep up with it and it just sort of shuts you down. I help you focus, follow through, finish things so that you can get seen and happily make money doing what you love. And so the fraud factor with folks with this special creative brain wiring, which I didn't name yet, ADHD. Many of my clients have ADHD. Uh, it's very typical for us to feel as though we are faking it. And so today I'm going to tell you how to shift from that sense of being a fraud to feeling authentic and grounded in your own expertise. Before I do, I just want to remind anybody who might not have time to stay and watch the whole thing here to click the link in the description of this video. If you're interested in having a free conversation with me to talk about the particulars of your situation career-wise and see how perhaps I could help you shift from that sense of fraudulence to authenticity. I also encourage you to grab the link here and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can be updated whenever I'm making a new video. So as I was going to say, we're going to talk about the fraud factor. Also, if somebody's around and there's still time, I might do one of my famous Kabbalah card readings from my Kabbalah deck. That's always fun. But let's talk about this fraud thing. A client of mine comes to mind. She is a tech person. She's very good at coding. She landed a job in a company, and for a long time, she just felt uncomfortable there. She came up for a performance review and it wasn't absolutely stellar. And instead of just taking it as feedback, she was very down on herself. And it was really because she is waiting for the other shoe to drop. She was really waiting to get fired, that they were going to find out. So I asked her, why do you think they hired you? And she says, well, in the interview, they had this program. It was very important to them that I knew this program. And frankly, I was kind of familiar with it, but I didn't really know it inside out. I just talked about the parts that I did know, and they bought it. All right, well, fast forward. She's doing a lot better now. She's very stable in this job. In fact, they are putting her as at the head of various projects and such. But we had to work through this self-talk around feeling like she didn't belong there. And she gave herself away with, they bought it. Trust me that if you get hired for a job and there are certain skills that they're looking for, they're going to know if you absolutely are not qualified, right? Even if you just know a little of what they expect of you, what she did was she shone a light on what she knew. That's what she did. She didn't hide. She didn't go in there and saying, I really am not that familiar with this program. I kind of know a little. That would have been a great way not to get the job. It didn't mean she was faking it to shine a light on what she did know. Because what you pay attention to grows, as I like to say. When you go into an interview, you put your best foot forward. Just because you're a musician and you're still having a really difficult time with some concerto doesn't mean you don't know how to play your instrument. You still might go out and give beautiful recitals and have a lot to learn. Hopefully, you wouldn't perform your hardest trick in public. That's another matter. That's just a matter of discernment. I think it's very difficult to feel authentic and good about yourself if you're projecting your own insecurity into other people's minds. First of all, my client Jill thought it was arrogant of her to put forth what she did know about this program. And I said to her, no, that's not what was arrogant. What was arrogant was you thinking that you put one over on them. What's arrogant is you thinking that other people, that you know what other people are thinking. We don't know what other people are thinking, and trying to stay one step ahead of that which does not exist is an incredible waste of energy. It is such a relief to put that down and give up knowing what other people make of you. Whether they think you're a fraud, whether they think you're fantastic, it's really none of your business. I could get down on myself right now and say, I'm not really conveying this idea very clearly, so everybody must think I'm such a fraud putting myself out. I mean, I'm not perfect. I know that. I also have been around long enough to know that I don't have to be. So, in summation, I think the trick to feeling authentic and feeling grounded in your own know-how is in calling out your own lies. Listen to yourself. If you audition and it goes well and you get a call back, notice if you say, okay, so far so good. They're buying it. They haven't figured it out. Notice that. Notice if you have this niggling sensation of they're going to find out, I'm going to blow it, I'm going to blow it. Just notice that and take stock of what went right, because that's what's true. It's what's actually transpired. Just the facts, ma'am. What's actually going on outside your head. That's what has actually transpired, what has actually landed for others. I find I go around a lot these days with this free-floating anxiety, and I find, it almost without fail, I can disrupt it if I just pause and remember what's actually at stake in the moment. And it's usually not much. I am usually not about to be called out for some horrible snafu or faux pas. All right. We all have this, many of us anyway, especially I find in my practice, have this little soft underbelly of shame. It's like an exposed nerve just waiting to be triggered, like a tooth with something, ice cream going on a sensitive tooth. And I think that very defensiveness can cause us to stay in our head instead of connected in the moment to life and to whomever we're speaking to. And it's that being in your head, I think, that really feeds into that fraud factor. So catch yourself in a lie. Catch yourself in a lie and tell yourself the truth. That went well. What's next? What do I have to do to prepare? So, how long have I been ranting? I'm trying to see here. I'm looking for the timing on this because I didn't set my big clock. Another little bit of imperfection on my part. Because I don't want to go on and wax on and on when I don't have a lot of people watching. I think it's been about 8 minutes, 8 minutes, something like that. If anybody wants a Kabbalah card reading, you can just say, Do me in the chat. There's a chat here. You see that? You see that? I don't know who's watching me, who's, if you care to introduce yourself, if you'd like me to pull a card for you. You don't even have to share what you want me to pull a card in reference to. If you have an issue on your mind and you just want me to pull a card and read it to you, I'm happy to do that. If not, that's okay too, because I'll be back here on Thursday. I do these, yeah, it's been about 10 minutes. I do these live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 o'clock. So whenever you happen to be watching this, I hope you find it valuable. And please, if you think you would like to go a little more deeply into this matter, one-on-one with me, I invite you to schedule a consultation by clicking the link in the description of this video. Have a wonderful next 2 days, and I'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.